Good morning. Just had lunch, fueled up, pulled out over here. Anyone recognize the landscape at all? We are gonna climb the Monaches. Lumbee is just behind us over here, and we're not gonna be going through any cities today. Just the Monaches, and I apologize if this is the first video you're watching of mine. The audio is about to go really bad. If you those of you that watched the last video, expect much the same on this one. Well, let's show you guys the actual load here. There we go, no cars coming. There's our load. Kind of hard to actually see from that side, but yeah, I got some insulation, some fencing, some shingles. Yeah, fun stuff. And then lumber on the front. Hey, there comes an RV. Good thing we're getting the RV to pass us now. So yeah, some, I don't know what this is. Huh. I just realized that this is Maglio Trail. They told me all of Maglio Trail would be on the front. I'm glad I caught this here now. Good to know. Yeah, I'll have to double check on the paperwork. Double check on the paperwork to make sure this is Maglio. The top is probably Home Hardware. All this fencing is Home Hardware. And we've got particle board, Home Hardware, particle board, lumber. Well, this is Maglio Trail. So Home Hardware in the cusp, and Rona Maglio in trail. But yeah, if you guys were watching yesterday's video, well, not yesterday's, but the last video, you guys know I lost my AC in the truck. Car coming. They're stopping on the road? Okay. I'm confused. I don't know why you would stop on the road. There's a wild turkey out there. That's not a turkey. It's a huge raven. No. Not too big to be a raven. I think it's just a tame chicken. A tame chicken that got out. Hard to see from that distance. The audio was not great on the last video, and it's not going to be great on this video, but I think it'll do, right? I'd rather have a bad video than no video, and the scenery is beautiful, so at least we get to enjoy the scenery, even if I can't even hear myself think. Cruise control set. I don't know how much I'm going to get to use it because I have to keep slowing down for corners. This is going to be a very curvy road. Very curvy. parked in the backyard. Unfortunately, most of it looks like it's not running anymore. All fallen into disuse, disrepair. So that pickup that stopped for us is just following us. I don't get it. See a pull out, I want to pull over and let the cars behind me pass, but was he just going to stop on a highway again? Silage fermenting silo there, the big blue silo. Do you ever wonder what's in those big blue silos? It's just grass. Fill it up with grass and then it sits there and ferments on the bottom as it gets all the pressure on it. And then you mix that fermented grass with new hay and a little bit of straw, make some good feed out of it. The fermented grass is just called silage. Mostly you take the silage, mix it in with hay bales, and then any other additives you want for dietary needs. Now once it's all mixed together, it's no longer called silage now it's called TMR. Total mixed rations. I like the old barns that they built them into the side of a hill, so you could throw all the bales into the hayloft at ground level on one side, and on the other side you can toss them off the roof down to where you're feeding your cows. You can manage to put your barn, your cow barn, on the edge of a cliff and make a lot less manual labor. hill coming up ahead that I have yet to conquer. I have a theory of I'm going to hit it a little differently this time than I have in the past. For those of you wondering how the temperature is doing in the truck, it's doing all right. This will be a good test for it. I haven't overheated yet, but the oil is getting hot. And as far as the AC, yeah, I'm waiting for the shop to get back to me when the part comes in for the AC. Hopefully that gets done this weekend because I don't want to do more videos like this next week. But it should be in today. It should be. Doesn't mean it will be, but it should be. I'll drop the truck off at the shop if it does. And Cherryville Days, September 12th to the 14th. Computer kicked in and it's like, no, I had it under control. It's not terrible when the computer kicks in when you're already in the brake. You're in the brakes, but the computer decides you need a little more brake. It's not terrible. When it's terrible is when you've gone through a corner and now you're exiting the corner and you're in the throttle and then the computer decides I need to slam on the brakes. So then it gets really sketchy really fast. Doesn't happen often, but just once every few months is too much for me. I could do without those computer sensors. That pickup that was following me just slowly fell further and further behind, so I don't know if it's still back there or turned off. Shuswap Recreation Area, Shuswap River. Lots of logs coming down. Luckily it's a cooler day today, so I'm not melting over here. It's a lot cooler than they forecasted, so that's nice. It's 29 degrees Celsius. Look at that old Massey Ferguson. I think it's a Massey Ferguson. Could be a Ferguson painted yellow. I think it's a Massey Ferguson. they've just barely cut these alfalfa fields here. Don't think you'll get another cutting out of it. It's probably the last cutting. Excuse me. I thought my allergies were bad before. Try driving with your windows open. Cherryville's coming up. We don't have to drive through the town, we just drive past it. I guess it's more like a village. Eyes are watering. My nose is stuffy. I've been sneezing. Throat hurts. My ears are itchy. Cherryville Roadhouse. Always busy. Golf course. Holding an inflatable. I bet ya he's camped out further up the river and he floated down the river and now he's hitchhiking back to his campground or wherever he started at. Monashee Provincial Park in 2 kilometers. At least a turn off to it. Started some of our hard climbing. Oil temperatures at 230. We'll keep an eye on it. What happens is it goes up to a maximum of 245 and just equalizes there. We're gonna have a lot of climbing here, so we should find out if we're okay. If it hits 250, I'm calling the boss and letting him know that we need to have more work done to the truck. There's the Monashee turnoff. Apparently Monashee Provincial Park is another half hour down that road. Wow, who knows what speed you could be driving on that road, if it's paved or not. Looks like it's paved, at least the first part of it. old Ferguson tractor. Although the paint looks like it's too dark gray, so who knows if it's actually a Ferguson. I think that black pickup is still back there. Pretty long lineup of traffic back there. If there's a good spot to pull over, I will. I don't know this highway well at all. But if there is a good spot, I'll pull over. Let people by. Not bumper to bumper behind me, but there's at least 5 people. At least 5 cars. Up to 235. People behind me. Temperature 240. Five kilometers an hour. Bet there'd be a pullout up here. No pullout? April 30th. That's not that far away. To make sure I get some tires replaced before that. That's not really a pullout big enough for a rig. It's a little too narrow. Amazing how fast the summer burns through. Old tobacco drying hut over there, a barn on the left hand side. There's a pullout over here at the top of this hill. No. Although I think I'm down to only 2 people behind me. Not 3 people behind me. Fields. They're all such small little fields. Fun if someone made a map of this area for the video game Farming Simulator. It would definitely be mostly a forestry map. Artisan glass art. That sounds interesting. I'd be a fan of looking at that. I've seen glass work a couple of times, and it's super neat. Watching glass work, or even just metal work, blacksmith working, just super interesting to watch. Downhill here. Yes, okay, let's have some people by. Let's keep the windows shut for a little longer. Because you can hear me now, but it gets way too hot. soil temperatures up to 245. Gold Banner Campground. Climbing. Can you hear me now? Just like yesterday. Keep saying yesterday. Oh, remember the RV that passed us? What was I going to say about the last video? I can't remember. I lost track. Got focused on the RV and all the noise. I lost my train of thought. Quite a few RVs down this road. Looks like we got two RVs behind us, the one that we just passed, and then a pickup towing a trailer. That was a strong whiff of pine. That logging truck came by. Definitely an RVer's highway. doing 27 kilometers an hour. I'm just going to keep my foot in it. However long it takes, we'll be the RV instead of the big rig. And it feels so fast when you actually get up to speed limit. Speed limit is only 80 kilometers per hour, which is 50 miles an hour. But with the road being so narrow and the trees right next to you, it feels really fast when I actually get up to the speed limit. It seems like the oil temperature gets up to 245 and then just sits there. It doesn't get hotter than that, I'm okay. Whee! It's quite the blind hill. We're getting close to that really steep climb. Get to that steep climb, we're going to do things a little different. Instead of like this, keeping as much momentum as possible, I'm going to downshift at the bottom of the hill all the way down to either first gear or second gear. First gear over or second gear direct. Maybe first gear over. At least that's my plan. These are really, really steep climbs. 7% grade here. It might be even steeper than that, some of these. And I know there's steeper roads. Definitely there are steeper roads. There's some that are steep enough that they won't let you go down the grade with two trailers. You've got to detach one of the trailers and bring them down one at a time. Red pickup behind us being a bit aggressive. This is a 11% grade. 250. Not quite. 248, 249. But we're up to 250. To a 4% grade now. The 11% grade doesn't last very long. Pickup passes us here. Definitely passing the RV. Yep. Good, good. Back to a 7% grade. 8%. Big enough pullout for me. That one might be. Just let everyone by. Got a honk as a thank you, even though you pulled over for me a little bit ago. Another honk. And another one. Let them all by. Coming up, I didn't realize it was here. I just kept going. the big one. Like, let's downshift. Oh boy. Well, this is the big one. So gotta remember that in the future. Failed again. I did go down to first gear over, and it was too high of a gear. So we're in low now. If I can upshift, I doubt it. I doubt the computer's gonna let me upshift, but I'm gonna try. Nope. Nope. Well, that's fine. We'll just crawl up it. Try this again. There we go. First gear. First gear over. No, come on. First gear over. Okay. There we go. That's the gear I wanted to do it in. Like, it got a little flatter there for a second. Let's try the rest in first gear over. Someday I'll learn this hill. Certainly would not want to hit this hill in the winter. I know the video doesn't do this justice how steep this hill is. But trust me, it is steep. The chip truck coming. I'll just pull onto the shoulder. the hardest part of the day done. Keep embarrassing myself on that hill. We are pretty darn heavy. The pup isn't super heavy, but it's still heavy. It does have some insulation back there, but so it's not a max weight load, but like I said, still heavy. Going. My dash cam says it's overheating. Not a lot of airflow there, so. When the video just ends, you know the dash cam overheated it. I guess the video wouldn't necessarily have to end. You just wouldn't hear me talk anymore. We'd have to use the audio from one of the outside cameras, which would sound very windy. Nice and swampy up here. Always look for a beaver. There's definitely beaver dams in here. Also really good moose pasture. The lake is crystal clear. You can see to the bottom. It's a pretty shallow lake. Big ripples in the lake that I'm assuming was a beaver. Some more climbing left to do here. Celsius. Just continues to warm up. At least we don't have direct sunlight. I'll let the boss know that the truck's still getting too hot. And then I'll leave it in his hands. If he brings it to the shop, great. If not, I'm fine with that too. All I can do is inform. That way when I blow the engine, nobody can say they didn't see it coming. That we just passed, at the bottom of the hill there's a gravel road that went off to the right hand side. That road goes all the way down to the Kettle River, down to West Bridge and Rock Creek. Well, at least the network of roads connects you all the way down there. Pickup behind us get by us. They wave. You're welcome. I know I'm slow. Always tell people it's okay to be slow. If you have a line behind you, use the pull out, let people by. Some of these trees have a little yellow tinge to them too. Fall is coming. Excuse me. Buffeting me so hard. Drink a little bit of water, try to take care of that sore throat. see the old highway used to go off to the right there. I'm assuming that there was a different bridge down there, because you see it rejoining us over here somewhere on the other side. Right here. The old highway. I wonder if the bridge is still there. Could you still go through that way? I guess that's a question to be answered when we're driving down with the RV. Area up here, definitely not big enough for a big rig. Last time we parked on the left-hand side, there's a little triangle. Parked in the left-hand side there and then walked in. Yeah, I don't recommend pulling in with a big rig. If there was nobody else in there, it might be okay, but if there's one car parked in the wrong area, you can't turn around. On the left-hand side, there's a little triangle road there. You can pull in there and then walk across. There's one pit toilet in there. Definitely see why motorcyclists would love this drive, would love this ride. Certainly gives you a good workout. A little right, a little left, a little more right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Ground that's been broken up. I don't know if that's just by cows or if there's elk or moose. Because this is free range cattle pastures. I suspect it's going to be cow. Lots of cow tracks through there. I think that's what it'll be. time I drive up here, before I even attempt to go this way, I look at the BC Wildlife fire map. Make sure there's no wildfires burning up here before heading up this way. Just in case. This year's been pretty good though. I think this year started so dry that people were super careful. At least a lot more people were careful, so there's been less fires so far. At least down here. Further north it's been bad, really, really bad. Summit's coming up here pretty quick. And once again, I apologize for the audio. I really, really hope we're back to normal next week. District. I know we got a brake check coming up here pretty quick. It's all downhill from there. Seems like some cars really speed on this highway. That car behind us caught up with us pretty darn fast. rough and too bumpy. Now the laptop's laying on the floor in the sleeper. You can stay there until I do my brake check. There it is, brake check. Go a little further forward just in case somebody else comes up behind us. A little more room. Batteries are going to be dropping off here soon, but we'll just keep recording as long as it lets us keep recording. There we go, they're starting to flash red, just like that. I'm like, I knew they were getting close. I figure if we get some of these tight little corners in that motorcyclists love so much, get these onto the video, then we call it a day. Head down the hill, there's actually a single lane bridge, and I believe downhill has right of way. But I hear the off-road rules are the opposite. Uphill has right of way. But I know when it comes to logging trucks, downhill has right of way, because downhill you're fully loaded, uphill you're empty. kicks in. I can barely hear myself think. Motorcycles having a fun ride up. Very, very deep valley beside us on the left-hand side. A little cooler up here, it's 25 degrees Celsius. I've got my window almost all the way closed. Passenger side's wide open. Nice, if it got cold enough I could just close the windows. GPS keeps warning me, sharp curve ahead. It's like, really? Who would have thought? The funniest is when there's just a slight curve and we're driving in Manitoba and the GPS warns you there's a sharp curve coming up ahead. It's like, man, it might be sharp for Manitobans, but us mountain drivers barely even notice the curve. Ah, what a beautiful descent down. Here comes that one-way bridge. Well, not one way, but one lane bridge. Coming. uphill has to yield there. Well, and just like that, our cameras are dropping off, so perfect timing. Made it to the corner of the bridge I wanted to show you again. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry for the bad audio. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Hopefully we don't lose too many subscribers on these last 2 videos. And really hopefully, I can use that pull out. Really hopefully, this is the last video we shoot with the bad audio. Hopefully we're back to normal, nice and run with AC and closed windows. But we'll find out, so I'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget, anyone that's a member gets a bonus video on the weekend. I have no idea where I'm going to shoot the bonus video, but hopefully it's cool. As cool as this one. The audio will suck on the bonus video, but hey, that's what we get. But anyway, for now, I am out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys absolutely rock.